Hey guys, so I'm here in Pinedale, Wyoming. I'm gonna do a race check-in, and then I'm gonna do the Drift 28 miler. It's a 28-mile run in the mountains, the Wind River Range here out north of Pinedale, up near the Green River Lakes. If you remember, I took you there on a field trip earlier this year. I filmed it last summer when we were backpacking in, but it's a running, skiing, or biking race. They use snow bikes with fat tires. I'm gonna do the running, so should be fun. It's gonna be cold. We'll see how it goes. Hope you enjoy the field trip. At the pre-race meeting, they give you your bib number so they can keep track of you, and they give you some other materials, and they kind of do a safety talk on things they want you to do, things we have to carry in our packs to be safe, and so forth. Mr. Joyous, if any of you are in the high school and have him, Gabe Joyous, he's a really good runner, but he's running this race, so I think I'll either talk to him or show him to you on the film. I'll zoom in on him or something if he's standing in the room. So maybe I'll talk to him at the race. Get him on the camera. So anyway, enjoy.
Pretty drifter.
Yeah,
All right.
A few people do that.
original
There's
drifter.
still hot sauce in the goodie bag here. Like last year.
Did you get a cup this year?
Yeah, oh yeah, the cup.
If you want to trade with somebody, you can.
Not cup favorite.
So just a couple quick things, and then we'll get you out of here. So first of all, the course. If you were on the 28-mile loop, you are on the in loop. It's pretty hard to get lost out there. If you find yourself wallowing through 6 feet of snow, you've gone off the trail. Short of that, there's only 3 major intersections. They're all marked. Outside of that, you'll see a piece of lath, basically a piece of wood on the left side of the trail with an orange top. And then there's random signs throughout. Again, it should be pretty difficult, not that we're trying to challenge anybody, but it should be very difficult to get lost out there.
The Forest Service trail signs are about every 100 feet or so. So I mean, it's pretty apparent when you're on the main trail. And yes, as soon as you get off the trail, it is 6 feet straight down. So you'll know.
You'll know. If you're again on the
So Pinedale is out that way, about 15 miles. And then it's surrounded by the Wind River Range, which goes all the way up here, and north is Jackson Hole. And then I think it's the Salt River Range is on that side. But I'm headed up another 15 miles or so that way to the Green River Lakes turnoff, where I took you last year. But it's this beautiful country out here. Lots of cattle ranching, lots of oil on the outskirts out past Pinedale. But it's surrounded by mountains. It's really pretty out here. I like it a lot. So, anyways, I gotta get to my race. Starts in 45 minutes. Looks like it'll be a clear day. It's pretty cold. It's -1 degree right now. Here you can see all the ice plastered on my truck. But so it's a little bit chilly. But I like it when it's cold for running. Beautiful place. So here's the start. This is that dirt road I took you up on to Green River Lakes. The dirt road starts here and goes up. I took you here on a field trip this year as a virtual field trip. There's the start, and we'll go out that way, loop all the way around, and then climb up on top of the mountains and roll all the way through. And we come back down this trail. So they groomed it with they groomed the whole course with a snowcat. I'll show it to you. It's right there. You can see the top of it. But this is what we'll be running on. Let's see how sturdy it is. It's nice and frozen right now, but still you can see you sink into it, so it's gonna be kind of not too bad. It'll be kind of crummy running. So that's it. And they've marked the course with these little orange flags, so at critical points so we don't get lost. If you step off the trail, you just sink into the snow in a lot of places. So But I guess snowmobilers will be on it and stuff, so it'll get torn up before day's gone. It is cold. Let's go see that snowcat. So here's what they groom the trail with. Just kind of push and scrape with this front end plow. Get the big stuff out of the way. And the tracks help pack it down. What's that called? Be kind of a fun job, huh? This is what they groom ski slopes with, snowmobile trails, cross-country skiing trails. You see these all the time. In snow country, toolbox on the back, and they drag this to help scrape and pack the snow even more. So all right, pretty morning. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Good day to run 28 miles in the snow. Like I said, there's people that are gonna be running with or biking with their snow bikes, those big old fat tire bikes. Then there'll be people skiing, and then there'll be runners, so it should be fun. It's supposed to get up into the 20s, so that'll be kind of nice. It's a little chilly. I was gonna camp last night and sleep in the back of my truck here. Probably should have, but I was like, 0 degrees. I'll just get a cheap motel room. So. Fun, trail running in the west. It's a lot of fun. So this is the start area. Got all kinds of machines out here. This is where we'll finish. They got a tent to warm up in for when you finish, and probably food for volunteers and finishers. There's a helicopter. Somewhere up there. There it is. They got the sheriff's search and rescue. If you have to be pulled off the course, they make you pay $50 just as a donation to the search and rescue. There's a big old outfit too. These are the guys that keep us safe. So, should be fun. One of the cool things I like about trail running and these ultra marathons and stuff like that is just everybody you see working here is a volunteer, and it's just people show up and volunteer and just take care of runners and athletes, and it's really cool. It's just a really cool vibe to it. You don't find that too much in the world, where just for no reason someone shows up and helps run aid stations with tents along the way, and search and rescue, and the start and finish lines, and just to be cool. And so I like that part of the world. So this is a cool aspect of our culture and society. So. This is one of the race directors. What's your name?
My name's Carrie Hall.
Okay, you live here in Pinedale?
I do.
So what made you want to start up the drift?
Well, we moved here from Alaska, and up in Alaska these races are kind of, I mean, they're super common. These are kind of the races. They're hard to get into, and they're a blast. Run, bike, or ski adds an extra element of strategy. Do you need to switch from bike to running? Can you switch from, biking to skiing? And anyway, so we did those races up there, and they were my favorite races to do. And we actually came out here for the first time in winter for a dog sled race. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there's this amazing trail network out there. Like, we need to have an ultra out on these trails. And so it took us a couple years, but now we're here and up and running, and we're pretty excited about it.
Awesome. So who are the people that we need to thank to make this happen other than the directors?
So Forest Service, obviously they control all of our permitting. Tip Top Search and Rescue, this race would not be possible without them. They do a lot of our race support, help us if people get too cold. When you add the cold and the snow and the fact that none of our race course is accessible by road, adds a little bit of a logistical challenge to it.
Yeah.
And so those are probably our two greatest supporters. And then we've got, Wind River Brew Company. They give us some post-race drinks, and we have a post-race party over at the brew pub. The Great Outdoor Shop, that's Josh and Laura's shop. They give us a lot of support, and always looking for new support.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Joyous.
Hey there.
So-
I graded your paper last night in a hotel room, and now I'm going to be running the snow for a little while.
So what are your goals today? Win at all costs?
Not get frostbite and have fun. Those are my goals.
Sounds good. I'm a middle of the pack kind of guy, but Mr. Joyous, when he's being serious, often wins these things. So.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all shakes out.
All right. See you at the finish.
See you at the finish.
Maybe.
Good stuff. Yeah, we'll be around.
All right. So here's the starters. There's a fat bike. Big old fat tires. Let's see where a skier is. There's the skiers. That's the Green River. So the Green River goes down in Utah near Moab, Arches National Park. Down from there, it connects to the Colorado River, and then ends up in the Baja California, the Gulf down there in Mexico. About 4 miles in, it's kind of tough going, sinking into the snow a little more than I'd like to be, so it's tough to run. Good times. It's getting a little bit warmer though. It's probably between 5 and 10 degrees. That's better than 0 or -1. Alright guys, I've gone, I don't know if you can see that, 9 miles, hour and 45 minutes. It is slow going in this mushy snow. It's harder than I thought it would be as far as the mush. I thought it would be groomed and flat and solid. But 1/3 of the way. Somewhere like around mile 12 or 13, we climb up and roll across the mountains. It is so pretty out here though. Snowmobile tracks. The Green River flowing down in the bottom there. So it's just perfectly quiet. I better start running again. So here's the first aid station. I'm at mile 13. So I'm pretty tired. Not even halfway. But the last 8 miles or so are supposed to be downhill. So, but we have a long climb up on top right now. So pretty cool aid station, all food and water here. Should be good. Okay, we're leaving the valley. If you keep going up the valley, over that snowbank, back up in there, just a few more miles, is Green River Lakes. And those are those 2 lakes we like to backpack into every summer and fish, camp. I took you on a field trip there earlier in the year. But they say it's several miles or more to the top of climbing, so I think I might hike for a while, because I'm kind of tired. And then it's a long run down off the top, so I'll run all of that. It's a wildlife winter range back up in here, so there's a lot of places they ask you to stay on the trails. with their snowmobiles. Just over this rise is an elk feed ground. And they have hay out in there, and they throw it out for the elk that pour into there from the range around. The long trek up through the pines, getting some little snow flurries. That wasn't in the forecast, so hopefully that stays away. Halfway there, 13.75. A little bit of a snow flurry, or maybe it's just blowing out of the trees. Oh. That's right. Yeah, it is snow. Look at that. It's kind of sketchy heading into that. Hopefully it's just a little storm. I'm at mile 17, so I've climbed 4 miles since that aid station. And this climb just feels like it's never gonna end. It's mushy snow. I've passed a whole bunch of guys on the fat bikes and girls pushing them up because it's too mushy and steep to ride. Passed 3 or 4 people on skis. One lady had taken her skis off. I think you saw that. Ugh, pretty worn out. 11 more miles to go. A lot of that's downhill. We'll see how it goes. So pretty up here though. Really beautiful. Some kind of animal passing through, a deer, an elk, probably a deer. It's like we're getting closer and closer to some kind of mountain pass up here, but who knows. So, I think we've reached the top of that pass. It says we're at, it's all downhill from here. Not really. That's kind of a bummer. 9,200 feet. All right, but I think that was the big climb. I think there's another one, but here we go. All right, there's the second aid station, around mile 21 or 22. My watch is doing funny things. I have a GPS watch. It tells me how far I've come. It's been windy and cold up through these passes here in the Wind Rivers, and I'm ready to be done. Kind of a rough day. It's mushy snow. It's really tough. Really tough. About 5 hours, so 22 miles in 5 hours. Pretty slow, but making progress. Skiers coming. We came over those mountains, through that snow, and I think we have about 1.5 miles left. I can see the highway down below, so we're pretty darn close. I think I'm all out of juice. I'm running a little ways and then walking and running a little ways. It's been fun. Hey, good job. So, I'm ready to finish. Ready to be finished. Well, I finished. At the 1 mile remaining mark up on top, I looked at my watch and it said 6:52, and I was like, dang it. Because I thought, well, I can beat 7 hours, that'll be good. So I had to run as fast as I could, and I got 6:58. So, but that last 6-minute mile was, or 7-minute mile, whatever it ended up being, was kind of painful. So, anyway, good times, beautiful place. If you're ever in Pinedale in the summer, come up here to Green River Lakes, go back in there and explore the lakes. If you're in the winter, bring your snowmobiles or skis or your running shoes and come explore this beautiful country up here. Green River Lakes, north of Pinedale. So, anyway, that hurt. See you guys. Thanks for coming on this field trip.